So, Brandon, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Brandon Wise, and I'm going to be talking about a book report for a book that I read called Sports Analytics, a guide for coaches, managers, and other decision makers by Ben Alamar. Organized sports as a whole has struggled to deal with the integration of sports analytics. Whether it be a coach ignoring game theory or general manager going against his data, one needs to look far to see the basic principles of sports analytics being sullied. For the format of this presentation, I will be in a mock interview between myself and an interviewer.
So, could you tell me a little bit about the author, Ben Alamar?
Yeah, for sure. So a quick overview and background about Ben Alamar is that he currently is the head of business analytics at StubHub, and he's been an innovator in sports analytics for over 15 years. Ben has spent 4 years in ESPN leading their sports analytics teams, as well as 7 years building analytics groups for NBA teams, including the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Thunder. Additionally, he has done significant research in the field, worked in several sports analytics startups, in the U.S. Olympic Committee, and lectured for Columbia, MIT, and the University of San Francisco.
Could you give us an overview of the book?
Yeah, so an overview of the book, in that throughout Ben Alamar's career, he's been in sports analytics, and he's noticed that sports analytics have been butchered and not been used the way that it really should be used. Now, keep in mind that he's been in data analytics for over 15 years, and he's seen some major growths in how data analytics have progressed over the years. He tells us how throughout we can change and use data analytics to our advantage and make them beneficial in numerous ways.
Could you possibly tell us how data analytics is used in sports, and could you give us a few examples?
Sure. So throughout the book, Ben describes many scenarios in different sports where analytics is used. Many people may not really notice it too much, but analytics are used more than we really think it is in many different ways. A few different ways that analytics are used in sports are that coaches use them for their players so they can keep track of their statistics. Players can use them so they can see how they perform in future scenarios, and depending on the sport, they can keep statistics such as speed, curve, slope, and hard statistics, such as three-pointers in basketball, strikes or balls thrown by a pitcher in baseball, and the speed of a tennis serve, and countless other ones. One part of the book that I thought was definitely one of the most interesting that Ben Alamar talked about was the different NBA games throughout the season that he attended. In regards to the regular season game, the playoff games, and the All-Star games. In doing this, he got to take a look at the top 10 rated players of the 2010-2011 season and kept stats on them to show how they progressed over the year and if they would play better in more important games, such as games to get you into the playoff games themselves, and championship games. In keeping these statistics, he noticed that the top players such as Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant remained steady throughout the season in the regular season games. Yet he noticed that when the top players were playing against each other, their statistics changed by having more intensity during the game, having more overall points individually along with their teams, and attempts for shots, rebounds, and many more.
All right, could you tell us your favorite part of the book and why?
Yeah, so not only does Ben talk about basketball and how data analytics are used within coaches, scouts, players, and announcers, and many more, yet he did focus on how data analytics are used in soccer, and he stated, "It may be one of the most time-kept, detailed processes in all of sports." This is my favorite part of the book because I grew up playing soccer and I know the process that goes into analytics in the soccer industry. Here's a video visualization that will help you see the process of how much really goes into soccer in regards to data analytics. As you saw throughout that video, it is a process and a lot that goes into it, yet it is something that is necessary for coaches and players to have, either at the professional level or even people that just want to improve. There are stats such as player proximity to other players, their movements on and off the ball, and to see if certain players are keeping their head on a swivel looking at all times, the speed of players, and endless other things that you can do. In looking at this video, it is used by coaches to show players things that they did well and things they can improve on and how they can improve on them. Thank you for listening on what I have to say about Sports Analytics, a guide for managers, coaches, and decision makers by Ben Alamar.